Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. North Star State Politics is at it again. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded for almost 3 months. I just really haven't had enough time. So we're going to be going over, this is just kind of a prediction. I was gonna kind of do, there is more content soon. Just it's gonna be a lot slower paced, like a lot less uploads than I was doing for a while, just because there was a lot of things. But let's just, let's just get on with it. The prediction will go as follows: all of your safe Republican states will go to Trump. Just the usual, the Great Plains, most of the Deep South. I think that's pretty much it for the safe red states. Your safe blue states: the West Coast, Colorado, Hawaii, the Eastern Seaboard, the Northeast, New York, Illinois, and Maine's first. So Biden starts off with a significant advantage over Trump, 191 to 125, and we're going to dive into the likely states, starting off with Iowa and Ohio. Trump will carry these likely red. I think that's kind of agreed upon at this point. These are both states that went red in 2016 and 2020. Iowa went red by double digits in 2016. Essentially went red by almost by double digits in 2020. So there's no reason to think it probably won't go to Trump by about 10 or 11, or roughly the same as 2020. Ohio, same deal. Ohio will probably, Ohio's a little more inelastic, just because it's anchored by Cleveland and Columbus, as well as the growing Democrat numbers in Cincinnati. Basically two out of the three of those Democratic metro areas are growing more blue, with the exception of Cleveland, which is actually growing more red. Same with Toledo. As well as Youngstown and the surrounding areas. Ohio will probably go red. I don't, unless Trump isn't the nominee for some reason, and we get like Nikki Haley or someone really bad, then I could legitimately see Ohio being competitive. But I don't see it either. Enough. I'm kind of blabbering. I'll shut up. That's kind of a problem I have. Anyways, Texas and Florida as well. Texas Republicans were supposed to have issues in the midterms there. Ken Paxton was supposed to be in trouble, they said, and he won by basically Trump 2016 margins there. So that kind of, I think, settles that argument. If Texas was really going blue, you could have seen some statewide offices flip there, but you didn't. Biden will presumably win Minnesota, likely D, alongside Maine, New Hampshire, New Mexico, as well as probably Virginia. Nah, we'll leave Virginia blank for now. Nebraska second. There we go. So these are all the kind of likely states. Minnesota is just the red areas in the Iron Range I think will get redder, but the Twin Cities growth will completely offset that. Trump will probably do better in some of the exurbs, however. He'll probably improve in some of the more working class suburbs of Minneapolis, but he'll definitely severely regress in the more wealthy southern suburbs like Scott County, places in Dakota County, like Farmington and Shakopee. He'll probably regress even further, but cities like Coon Rapids and Anoka, I could see him probably flipping back. North Carolina, I think, goes to Trump lean. That's kind of settled upon. Virginia goes to Biden lean. I think North Carolina is kind of, titanium lean red. The statewide party there is very competent. They know what they're doing. Virginia, the Republican Party of Virginia appears to be very competent at their job. All of a sudden, Glenn Youngkin is actually being a team player. If we can get a hold of the state senate there, and get a trifecta, we are definitely in good shape. If that's the case, we will probably, be able to push Virginia to the right, but until that happens, I still see it being a Biden state. That concludes all the lean states. Now what's left? These are the crucial swing states right here. We're gonna go over them, starting off west to east, because I normally do Rust Belt to anyways. We're gonna start off in the Sun Belt. Nevada. I do think that Nevada At this very moment, I do believe that Nevada is favoring Trump. Nevada has taken a sharp turn to the right over the past, 3 election cycles or so. In 2012, Obama comfortably won Nevada. 2016, Clinton came in. Clinton was dangerously close for the Democrats. It almost flipped red. In 2022, we saw a bunch of statewide offices flip red. Like the governor. And then now we're seeing, that maybe Trump could potentially win the state. The polls tend to overestimate Republicans in Nevada because they oversample the rural areas and not enough of Vegas or Reno. So I think Nevada could go either way. I think as of the moment it's favoring Donald Trump. Arizona, I do think Arizona, this is kind of a tough one because Arizona is in a weird spot. Trump is actually doing very good in the polls in Arizona. Which we didn't see. I mean, Democrats were dominating the polls in the midterms there. Republicans were doing awful there in 2020 in the polls. Trump was losing Arizona by 9 in some of those polls. However, I think it's, I think Arizona is probably, I just don't see Arizona being winnable. I mean, unless RFK, again, this is factoring in RFK and whatever the one guy's name is. I always forget his name. The one Green Party guy, freaking West. I forget. Oh, what's his name? Okay, I'm sorry, guys. This is kind of embarrassing. I haven't paid attention to politics in a long time. Cornel West. Okay, yeah. Cornel West and RFK, I think, will probably siphon a lot of votes away from Biden and Trump, but mostly from Biden. However, I think Biden wins Arizona. I think, the state of Georgia, I think Trump, we'll get to Georgia. No, we'll do Georgia right now. I think Trump will probably win. I think Trump wins Georgia lean. Here's why. I think Republicans are in they're in really good condition in Georgia. I mean, there have been, a lot of polls in Georgia that suggest Trump is killing it there, which we all know, you really can't believe the polls, but, generally, we need to remember, in the midterms, the polls overestimate Republicans. In 2018, for example, they said they overestimated Republicans in a lot of races. They overestimated Scott Walker in Wisconsin. They overestimated Brian Kemp in Georgia. They overestimated the Republican in Pennsylvania, Scott Wagner. They overestimated Republicans against Sisolak in Nevada. They overestimated Republicans in the Arizona Senate race. 2022 is no different. They overestimated Republicans in Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, you name it. The polls were pretty much correct in Georgia. A lot of the polls had Kemp winning by about anywhere between 6 to 10. He won, I think, by about 7. He won by 8. So he won right in the sweet spot. I think Trump will probably win Georgia because of Cornel West. I think Cornel West and RFK, it's clear that Kennedy is siphoning a lot of votes away from Biden. He is stealing votes from Trump. That is definitely happening. We're not saying that's not happening. But, in a four-way race between Kennedy, Trump, Biden, Kennedy, West, Kennedy and West will play spoiler. I think they will screw Biden in a lot of states. Georgia's one of them. A lot of the black voters there are disaffected with the Democrat Party. They also don't like the Republicans either. So I think they'll probably break for Cornel. A lot of them may switch their vote to Cornel, but not a lot, but enough. Wisconsin, I think Trump wins Wisconsin by about 1.5 to 2. Wisconsin, we are seeing very favorable demography in the state of Wisconsin. We're also seeing we're also seeing favorable polling in Wisconsin for once. A poll recently came out from Emerson College, who actually was pretty accurate in the state. Not in 2020, but they were fairly accurate there in the midterms. Emerson College Emerson College showed Trump ahead by 2. They had Evers winning by 5. He won by 4. They showed Ron Johnson winning by 2. So they're definitely more accurate now than they used to be. And also same with other pollsters. I forget the name of, but Trump is in good position in Wisconsin as of right now. I think it'll be close. I'm not saying it's going to be like a blowout or anything, but it will be very close in Wisconsin. But Trump, I think, has the advantage due to there's a lot of demographic change that favors Republicans. A lot of black voters are leaving Milwaukee. A lot of liberals are leaving Madison. They're going to places like Chicago, the suburbs of Detroit, Denver, Atlanta, Alabama. Like, they're going south, a lot of the black voters in Milwaukee, and a lot of the more college-educated voters are moving out to states like Minnesota. This will boost Trump, definitely. The state of Michigan, I think Trump will... I think Michigan is kind of a dead heat. The polls definitely do reflect that. Redfield and Wilton, their most recent poll has them tied. Marketing Resource Group has Trump up big but that's with a lot of undecideds. And then Redfield and Wilton, when they factored in Robert Kennedy, when they factored in Bobby Kennedy and Cornel West, Trump has a lead of 2. Again, that is with a high amount of undecideds or write-in, high undecideds and write-in votes. I think Biden is narrowly favored in Michigan as of right now. I just don't see... I just don't see Trump winning Michigan. I think the Democrats have such an apparatus there that it's going to be impossible, like near impossible for him to win. Well, not impossible. It is definitely possible, but I think it's going to be very hard because you're seeing, you're seeing Republican gains in the Upper Peninsula, which is continuing to move right. You're seeing, places like Muskegon trend red, but you're seeing, and Kalamazoo, but you're seeing places, like like Traverse City, Oakland County, like the Lansing area, and down here, I forget. I think that's like Benton or something. I don't remember what this place is called down there, but you get my point. There's a lot of weird things going on in Michigan. Democrats have a trifecta. Gretchen Whitmer and the Democrats there understand how to use power, unlike the Republicans in states like I'm not naming any names, but Arizona, Doug Ducey. So that's just how it goes. Finally, we've come to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, per usual, is the tipping point state. This is tough because Pennsylvania, I think, I don't know. In 2024, Trump is within striking distance of Biden in Pennsylvania. We're seeing this. Robert Kennedy Jr. is siphoning a lot of votes away from both the candidates, which leaves them at 39-39. A lot of undecideds too. Ultimately, undecideds, I don't know. They tend to lean Democrat, but not always. Emerson College had Trump ahead by 9, and then before that, Quinnipiac had Trump up by 2. If we're gonna be honest, considering I've been fairly negative towards Trump lately, not like towards Trump, but towards Republicans lately, considering a lot of my predictions have had Biden winning, the Democrats winning, I think I'll give Trump Pennsylvania. So far, Trump is leading in the presidential betting odds too on RCP, which you can't really go off of those, but they usually do get it right. The bettors have gotten it correct almost every time. We're also seeing in a lot of like polls, I don't know. We're seeing in a lot of polls that Trump may be doing very good. If we look at we look at nationwide polling, Trump is up by 0.7. And mind you, Biden, who won the popular vote by almost 5, narrowly took the Rust Belt. That is something we need to take into consideration. However, polls aren't everything. This is going to be, I think, the hardest presidential election to predict, like, ever. I think it is going to be, this is 2020. We kind of had an idea of what was going to happen. 2016 wasn't hard to predict. It was just completely way off. It was a surprise. 2012 was fairly easy. 2008 was pretty easy. However, 2024, I think we're in for quite a ride because we're seeing the development in a lot of states, in a lot of places. We're just seeing some weird stuff happen. We're seeing, like a day where Wisconsin votes to the right of Arizona. I mean, this is where we're at now. Like, that could happen. And that, if you would have said that, in 2012 or even 2016, everybody, including me, would have laughed at you and said, there's no way. You said that in 2008, people would be like, what? What are you talking about? Wisconsin's safe blue. So, this is going to be a weird election. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment down below what you think will happen. I don't know. I just felt like getting a video. I hope you guys have a good Halloween. That's coming up on Tuesday. Expect more content, maybe. Don't hold me to that, though. It's going to be a lot. Uploading is going to be fairly slow. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Godspeed to all of you. Peace out.